This week, we are marking Sunday's 5th anniversary of that powerful 2020 derecho that swept through eastern Iowa and changed so much for so many of us. Now, one of the first impacts we saw was to the electrical grid. Initially, 400,000 customers across the state were without power. KCRG TV9's Kristen Rogers shares the work it took to bring that power back.
The hum of generators was a familiar noise after the derecho swept across eastern Iowa in 2020. The more than 45-minute storm came on a Monday and brought wind speeds up to 140 miles per hour, knocking down more than 7 million trees across the state, up to 100,000 of those just in Cedar Rapids.
It wasn't really till probably Wednesday evening or Thursday morning that you really understood it was the whole town.
With those trees, power poles and power lines fell to the ground, causing every customer in Cedar Rapids and 400,000 across the state to lose power.
We had zero electricity from a transmission standpoint coming into the city of Cedar Rapids,
bringing vast darkness to cities large and small.
It was a really eerie feeling driving home that night when there were no lights on in the city. I have never experienced that in my 20-plus years at Alliant Energy.
Did that do anything there?
Alliant Energy had to replace 3,600 poles and put 6 million feet of wire into the ground and overhead to restore service to customers.
To put that into perspective, that's Cedar Rapids to Walt Disney World.
Help came from across the country and Canada to get power restored in 17 days, with hospitals being one of the first to get power back.
Electricity is a luxury, and if it's off for a period of time, people's health becomes compromised.
So we had people that had insulin that has to be refrigerated. They came here for refrigeration. We had people that are on oxygen at home that came here that just needed somewhere to plug their machine in. Or they needed a refill of their tanks.
And Alliant received a lot of support from eastern Iowans as they worked to restore power.
Everybody came to our side. We had folks feeding us, handing us beverages. There's this iconic picture of a little kid handing a Pepsi to a line worker in a bucket, and it's just one of those things. We saw that appreciation throughout this entire city.
We deployed meals to city workers, county workers, the linemen, the electricity people that were on site pretty quickly, and they all needed food. So we were making box lunches for people that went out every day.
Alliant says it continues to strengthen its power grid to make sure it's ready for any storm that could hit eastern Iowa, with goals to keep the lights on, even in the darkest times. In Cedar Rapids, Kristen Rogers, KCRG TV9 News.
Well, today, none of us will forget. August 10th marks 5 years since the derecho devastated eastern Iowa. It is the most costly thunderstorm in U.S. history. And this week, we will be looking back at its impact. Now, we'll also share our conversation with Linda Rowland, who is eastern Iowa woman who lost her husband during the derecho. And it all leads up to our documentary called Blown Away: The Impact of the 2020 Derecho. It is going to air this Thursday at 6:30 right here on TV9.